Snow fell in heavy, blinding sheets across the Montana plains that night, the kind of cold that could freeze a person's breath before it left their lips. Rancher Luke Maddox was riding home on his chestnut horse, Boone, after checking his fences for the last time before the storm worsened. He was used to winter. He was used to silence. He was used to being alone. But he wasn't used to seeing a body in the snow. Boone stopped first, ears forward, snorting uneasily. Luke followed the horse's gaze and his heart dropped. A girl, barely 20, collapsed on the ground, snow piling on her thin dress, her lips blue, her fingers stiff. Luke jumped off the saddle. Hey, can you hear me?" he shouted, dropping to his knees beside her. No response, not even a flinch. He brushed the snow from her face and froze. She was young, too young to be dying alone in a storm. Her cheek was bruised, her wrist scraped raw. She had been running from something or someone. "Don't you die on me," Luke murmured, lifting her gently. She was light as a child. He wrapped his heavy wool coat around her shivering body and pulled her close to his chest. "You're safe now," he whispered, though he wasn't sure she could hear him. "I got you, I won't let go." He rushed her to his cabin, laid her by the fire and worked fast blankets, warm water, rubbing her hands to get blood flowing again. For hours she drifted between life and death. Finally, her eyes fluttered open. Two frightened brown eyes, staring at him as if he were a ghost. "It's all right," Luke said softly. "You're in my home, you're safe." She tried to sit up, panicked, but her body was too weak. Don't hurt me," she whispered, voice breaking. Luke froze, pain slicing through his chest. "Ma'am," he said gently, raising both hands, "I would never hurt you. I carried you out of the snow. You were freezing to death." Tears filled her eyes and she bit her lip so hard it bled. She was scared of him, terrified. Luke stepped back slowly. "I'll stay right here. You don't have to fear me." She studied him for a long moment, then whispered, Why did you save me?" Luke sat on the edge of the hearth, staring into the flames. "Because no one deserves to die alone in a storm." Over the next hours, she told him her story in fragments. Her name was Rosa. She had been working as a maid for a wealthy family who treated her worse than cattle. When the master's son tried to force himself on her, she ran. Into the night. Into the cold. With no shoes, no coat, nothing but fear pushing her forward. "But I got lost," she whispered, "and I thought maybe it's better this way. Maybe no one will care." Luke clenched his jaw so hard it hurt. "Nobody should ever treat you like that," he said quietly. "And someone cares, I do, you hear me." She blinked, confused by his kindness. No one had spoken to her like that before. That night Rosa woke from nightmares, shaking, crying, calling out that she didn't want to die. Luke sat by the fire, watching over her, gently telling her she was safe. When she drifted back to sleep, she reached for his hand unconsciously. He let her hold it. Something inside him softened, something he thought had frozen after losing his wife years ago. By morning, Rosa could sit up. She tried to stand, but her legs buckled. Luke caught her before she hit the floor. "I'm sorry," she whispered, humiliated. "You don't apologize for surviving," he said firmly. "You're strong, stronger than you think." She looked up at him, really looked, and for the first time he saw hope flicker in her eyes. Days passed. Luke made soups. Rosa helped peel potatoes, though her hands still shook. He taught her how to feed the horses, how to light the stove, how to walk outside without slipping. She laughed for the first time in years, a small, soft sound that filled the cabin like music. One evening, as they shared a simple dinner, Rosa said quietly, "I don't know why you were there that night, but if you hadn't come." Luke shook his head. "Don't think about that, think about what comes next." She stared into the fire. "Next, I have no home, no family, no money." Luke took a breath. "Then stay here as long as you need. I ain't asking anything of you. Just stay warm, stay alive." Her eyes filled with tears. No man had ever offered her safety without a price. "Why are you so kind to me?" she whispered. He looked at her, truly looked. "Because you deserve to be treated like a human being," he said softly. "And because saving you maybe saved me a little too." As winter thawed into spring, Rosa grew stronger. Her cheeks filled with color. Her fear faded into trust. One morning she stepped outside to find Luke fixing the gate. He looked up, brushed snow from his hat, and said, "You know, cabin's been quiet a long time. Feels warmer with you in it." Rosa felt her heartbeat quicken. "Luke, why are you telling me this?" He walked toward her, slow and steady, like approaching a wild, wounded animal he didn't want to scare. "Because I want you to know you're not a burden. You're not trouble. You're someone I—" He hesitated, breath catching. "Someone I care about." Rosa covered her trembling mouth. No one had ever cared about her. Luke gently placed his coat around her shoulders, the same one he wrapped her in the night he saved her. "You're safe now," he whispered again, "and you don't have to run anymore." Rosa leaned into him, tears falling silently. For the first time in her life, she believed him. And for the first time in his life since losing everything, Luke felt what hope truly was. A poor girl nearly lost to the snow was becoming the warmth his lonely heart had been waiting for.